This year I bought plenty of photo, video related gear. Some of it is great, some of it is terrible. So here are my top 10 video photo related purchases in 2023 and some bad too. Before I buy anything, I do an extensive research, so I rarely buy something I regret later, but there were actually at least 4 bad purchases this year. Big design everyday backpack 20 liters is one of them. This backpack is terrible. I already dropped my A7 IV and 2 lenses because of their peak design of this backpack. It's quite comfortable as an everyday backpack, but I do not recommend it for any photo gear unless you hate your gear and you want to buy a new one quickly. Instago 3, I'm really disappointed by the picture quality this camera produces, especially when lighting is not ideal. Insta advertises it as a vlogging camera. It is definitely not. Sound quality is not that great and there is no option to connect an external mic. Sure, you can record with an external recorder, but then it becomes quite cumbersome to use, especially that you have to run free frame footage through Insta app. It is only useful when used outside of the pod, but then it becomes a really specialty camera, so for that price it's not worth it. Ulanzi VL 119 tubes. This light is cheap. I got 4 of them for around 130 bucks, but the build quality is even cheaper. One of them randomly switches off on battery 3 minutes after being fully charged. Their work time is not as advertised, much shorter, but they are cheap. The light output is 5 times less than the same size light from Amaran, 340 lux versus 1600, but they are cheap. I recommend getting one Amaran on non-light instead of 4 or 8 of these, but I still sometimes use them to shoot my thumbnails. Mac Mini M2 16 gigabytes. Generally it is very nice desktop computer, but for the price it's not. I got an RTX 4080 for my old PC for the same price and it's almost 6 times faster. Sure, power consumption, it is also 6 times bigger during renders, but my old PC with RTX 2070 has been faster than M2 Mini, so no thank you. If you are on a tight budget, maybe M2 Mac Mini is an option, but if you can spare a bit more, then PC with RTX is way to go, or Mac Studio. Nice that Apple has a great return policy. So these 4, except the backpack, weren't terrible buys, but I wouldn't recommend any of them for the price they are sold at. But let's see what products made me happy this year. Honorable mentions: Quadra Light, Godox in US, Move 400X, really nice budget studio strobe. You can use it outside if you have long enough extension cable or portable power station. Amaran P60c, really nice LED panel, but it's a bit too loud. As a background light, it's back there. It's not a problem, but as a main light, I wouldn't recommend it. I prefer a silent recorded environment, thus Amaran 300C is my main light. Another honorable mention, Sigma MC21 allows to connect and fully utilize my Canon and Sigma EF lenses with my Panasonic S5 IIX. Autofocus works fully and photo in video, which is not the case with MC11 and Sony. Really useful piece of gear for 200 bucks if you still got EF lenses. Last honorable mention, Peter McKinnon Gomatic everyday backpack with 2 small cubes, much better than peak design everyday backpack 20 liters. I was not aware Peter McKinnon everyday backpack even exists. Not a fan. Got it and it's perfect for my needs. I use it mostly when shooting sports. I can put 150 to 600 millimeters and 70 to 200 with 2 bodies inside it, or A7 IV and 6 lenses, so maybe expect full review. And now my top 10 for 2023. Gravity LS Varipole 01B. This saves so much space in my 10 by 10 feet studio. I can now mount my Amaran 300C or any other light 2 inches away from my wall with zero floor space wasted. And my desk is almost touching the wall, which gives me more space in front of the desk. Very highly recommended, and gravity ones are half the price of the Manfrotto variables. 9th place, Lenovo LOQ 15-inch. My config is RTX 4060 with 8GB of VRAM, 32GB of RAM, 1TB NVMe, Intel Core i5, and DaVinci Resolve performance is on par with my RTX 4080 PC, but the PC got much older CPU, so probably that, even though it is very impressive for a laptop with a price tag around 1200 USD, more or less the same as my RTX 4080 alone. Sure, I would like M2 or M3 16-inch MacBook Pro for video editing, but here the price is 3 to 4 times the price of the Lenovo, so the choice is obvious. 8th place, Sony WH-1000XM5, the best combo together with MacBook Air to work in peace or consume content. Some time ago I thought it's a gimmick, but now I recommend noise cancelling headphones, especially if you can get distracted easily by noise or noisy people. 7th place, Panasonic S5 IIX with Sirui 35mm t2.9 anamorphic. This is beast of a video camera. It is definitely better in terms of video than my A7 IV. Best IBs, open gate shooting, better codecs, USB recording, better body ergonomics, and so on. Highly recommended for any video work. 6th place is QNAP TS-H973AX. I got it together with 5 18GB drives. It is configured with RAID 6 to be on a safe side. I can edit 8 4K 10-bit 422 HAVC streams on my 3-year-old computer with 10 gigabit link directly from this NAS, no SSD cache. My computer gives up on the night stream, but there is still headroom on the NAS side. I got 54 terabytes raw capacity, realistically due to ZFS characteristic around 46 terabytes. You can easily back it up to remote locations like Backblaze. Must have for anyone who collects the footage or got a big backlog with videos like myself. RTX 4080 made my 3-year-old PC great again. Renders 4K 10-bit to HAVC with 75 frames per second on average, color graded with effects and animated text, and more than 200 FPS in HD in DaVinci Resolve. Crazy fast, and it is 1/4 of the price of the Mac Studio with the same performance. 4th place is MacBook Air M1 with 8 gigs of RAM. The best notebook I've ever had. The only missing thing is 60 gigabytes of RAM, but when I bought it, the 60 gigs version was 30% more expensive than the basic one, so unreasonable in my opinion. I can still edit photos and some simple videos in DaVinci Resolve on it, but it's not that great of the experience. But for daily tasks, it is just great. Then Amaran 300C, I'd say get better light before you buy a new camera. You might be surprised. Really nice RGB WW light. I can lit outside night scenes with it and still shoot with f4 at ISO 640. But it's also perfect for my studio because up to 10% it is always completely silent. Fun never kicks in, so I can shoot S-Log3 with f2.8 and base ISO in complete silence. This is just great. And 2nd place, no surprise, DJI Pocket 3 Creator Combo. I haven't been anticipating this camera at all, but and I saw it, I have to try it. I say it is the best vlogging camera nowadays, especially with DJI wireless mic 2, records 32-bit float internally, and a normal video profile, which is also 10-bit color, straight from the camera, is fantastic. Very easy to use, just take it out of your pocket and press record. And my first pick in 2023, you might be surprised because it is OM Systems OM5. I'm really surprised with this camera. I'm giving it the Micro Four Thirds my last chance after having 3 Panasonic cameras. This one is really good, great video capabilities, great stabilization for photo and video, pre-burst, high-res shooting, astrofocus, HDR, 4 seconds half-hand shots, really good autofocus, and very small form factor. Of course, body alone is not enough for photos. I also got Panasonic 9mm f1.7, Olympus 17mm f1.8, and I already have Olympus 45mm f1.8. So now this combo allows me to shoot almost anything. And so far I'm very positively surprised by video and photo quality. And I have used like 30% of the functions of this camera so far. I'm still learning. I can vlog with 9mm or shoot landscape or architecture photos. 70mm is an everyday / street photo lens. With 45mm I can shoot portraits. Sure, you can say Micro Four Thirds does not offer enough bokeh, but with new Lightroom lens blur module you can emulate depth of field in post, so not a big deal anymore. It is definitely more versatile than my Sony A6600, better in terms of size, better in terms of stabilization, more functions, better viewfinder. Con is a bit of a quirky menu. It is a camera combo you want to take with you because of the size. I can put this camera with 3 prime lenses into my smallest Peak Design 5-liter swing together with Pocket 3. It has some limitations compared to the full frame cameras, but I say you can easily do commercial work with it. Expect full review soon. So that's it for 2023. If you think any of this gear is worth buying, you can use my affiliate links in description. I do not plan to buy a lot of new gear next year, maybe Sony FX6 and some Amaran aperture lights. So happy new year and cheers mate!